Hello friends, welcome to Guidance. On this topical that we are going to discuss today is about Financial Action Task Force, FATF. This has been in the news currently because our neighboring country Pakistan has been removed from the grey list of FATF. What we are going to discuss today is to try and exactly understand what is this FATF and how it came into being and what are its outcomes. Let us go to the next section. Friends, overall in the world, when at the verge of end of Cold War, in 1989, group of 7 countries, G7 countries, had a summit in Paris. At this Paris summit in 1989, these G7 countries decided that there is a need to understand how exactly the new era of terrorism is going to rise. For them, it was very much clear that the new age warfare comes from a newer regions. For any kind of even terrorist activity as well, the important aspect is the finances supporting it. And how to find those finances is a very, very tricky situation. These G7 countries came together and created an organization which is known as Financial Action Task Force. The objective of this particular organization is to monitor, to oversee all the illegal financial activities across the world, particularly in various organizations across the world and the countries across the world, where a consistent threat was very much seen to the financial institutions across Europe or Western countries, and that threat was coming from countries which were hostile to them, or at least had some sense of red herring to leading towards terrorist network. To curb these terrorist organizations and these terrorist activities, it was important to cut down to their source. In this case, their financial source. And hence, FATF set about its course for this particular reason itself. During its foundation, it came together with 8 different countries, G7 countries, European Union, as well as GCC. GCC came much later on, but at least these organizations and countries came together for creation of FATF. Now, as any international organizations, FATF also has certain rules and regulations to which they understand how different kinds of funding or terror financing can be created and how to demarcate them or how to put them on the paper in front of the world so that their mitigation measures could be taken place. To do this, they drew up a certain rules. At this stage in 2022, there are around 20 different points that they have come about with. These 20 different points are as a case of measure whether a particular country is following these 20 different points or not. If it is satisfactorily following all those 20 different points, then you are good. No harm done to you. You can be very free. There are no terror financing from your country and you are free to do your trade, etc. But if a country or even an organization, largely, if they fail to follow some points from the given these 20 points, then they are put into certain categories. Now, overall, there are multiple categories in which these 20 different points are also listed. But there are very nitty-gritty and technical points under these 20 categories. If you do not satisfy, say maybe 3 of them, or maybe 5 of them, or maybe 7 of them, or 9 of them, or 13 of them, then you are put under multiple categories, multiple list, which I am sure you guys are reading about in newspapers and very much noisy news channels and understanding removal of Pakistan from the grey list, etc. So these countries eventually are put under multiple categories, dominantly under two lists. One grey list and the other is black list. Now the countries basically which are mandated to follow all these points, all these 20 points. FATF has a commission, has a body which oversees all these points, all these countries, whether they are following these 20 mandates or not. Now to understand this FATF, there are many technical terminologies and technical sentence frameworks given on their websites, which even you can go through it. In order to conduct this particular topical session, went through their website and found certain technical terminologies which I wish to share with you. Bear with me. What it says over here is that it is just an intergovernmental body which sets an international standard that aim to prevent illegal activities and the harm they cause to society. That's the technical legal term that they have used on their website. The FATF monitors countries to ensure they implement the FATF standards fully and effectively and holds countries to account who do not comply. In simple words, अगर आपने ये 20 points follow नहीं किए, then you are put under a watch list. In this context, grey list. So, for example, the neighboring country Pakistan was put under grey list. According to FATF report, initially, not the recent one, that Pakistan as a country was not showing a right intent towards creating mitigating efforts against terror financing and money laundering, and those 20 points that FATF has mandated everyone to follow. The idea being over here is that FATF, being an intergovernmental organization or a body, it directs, in a sense, you can also put it that it compels country to create laws within their country which comply with these 20 points mentioned by FATF. As well as they also ensure that only laws passing is not enough, but the implementation of those laws are also very important. If they feel that these two major activities, that is creation of laws and implementation of laws, are done satisfactorily according to the laws between or according to the mandates, 20-point mandates by FATF, then you are safe. If you fail to do so, then you are put under a grey list. Also, it's a very tricky to understand how the grey list also works. What their technical term over here is, terminology over here is that jurisdictions under increased monitoring and are actively working to address deficiencies in their regimes and countries have committed to resolve swiftly within agreed time frame. What does this mean is basically ऐसे देश जिन्होंने अपने लीगल सिस्टम में चेंजेस करने के लिए ठान ली है, उन्होंने उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की भी ठान ली है और ये इंटेंट दिखा रहे हैं FATF को और उनके शिष्टमंडल को, उनके एक कमिटी को जो भारत उनके देश में आ रही है, ये उन्होंने इंटेंशन अगर भी दिखाया है, then you are put under grey list and not under the dangerous list. Alright, what it is saying, I'll repeat it in English again to all my friends who feel that English is more comfortable for you, that the countries who show a positive intent towards the implementation of legal frameworks as well as regulatory reforms to be carried out in their own countries, alright, and allow a commission from FATF to come and oversee this process are put in the grey list. Now at the same time, what are the blacklist countries? In a very simple way, if I put it, then the countries who do not comply with any 20 points mentioned by FATF, neither do show any intention to comply with those FATF, neither allow any kind of commissions from FATF to enter their country to see the legal framework created by them, are put under blacklist. At this moment, there are only two countries under blacklist. One is Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, popularly known as North Korea, and the other is Iran. Now, how can these countries basically can be taken out of grey list, which is the topic of current discussion, that Pakistan has now been removed from grey list. The technical terminologies that they put on their website, I'll repeat again, because at such levels you need to understand these wordings that they use. At international levels, those wordings are very much key to understand the exact focus behind the objectives. I'll quote, a country must address all or nearly all components of its action plan. Once the FATF has determined that a jurisdiction has done so, it will organize an on-site visit to confirm the implementation and then to continue to work with FATF. That means any country which basically complies with all the 20 components. So say for example, I am in a grey list and I am complying with all the 20 components, but just by saying I am complying with all 20 components is not enough. I should allow an on-site visit done by FATF commission, as well as I should comply with any further inquiries by FATF, and then I can be removed from grey list. Similarly, at this moment, according to FATF document, Pakistan has done that and hence they have been removed from grey list. But that does not mean this is a perpetual thing. There is always a continuous FATF watchdog on these multilateral, from these international intergovernmental institutions, and if they find that in the next round of discussions any country, say maybe the same Pakistan or any XYZ country, does not comply with the 20 points of FATF, then they can be put in again into grey list. If they are still not complying, then they can be shifted down to blacklist. My friends, the objective of this particular topic is to try and simplify the current affairs, the complexities of current affairs. We will be happy to understand from you whether you think this particular topic has been explained very well or not. We would like any comments from you, whether you would like such kind of exercises from us or not. And if you have any queries with respect to any kind of preparations that you guys must have been doing, or any in general query that you have on top of your mind, feel free to contact us on the given number over here, or even you can comment in the description below. Do not forget, friends, to like this particular video and share it with your friends as much as possible. Thank you. Good day.